TRON Ares.
I grew up in the time when the first Tron arcade game came out, and it was this amazing moment of life imitating art, art imitating life. The Tron movie came out as well, and it was so exciting back then. The graphics were amazing and cutting edge. It was pretty special. This is pre-Matrix. It created a whole world on the other side of the computer, the artificial intelligence, the virtual construct of the grid. At the time, it was novel, but Tron Ares brought back a new fun twist on this. It's particularly important these days because AI is part of everything that we do here in the architect's office too. We're creating things three-dimensionally, we're using virtual reality goggles, and we're getting closer and closer to really being able to inhabit the buildings we design and the spaces before we go and build them in the real world. It's been an amazing advantage for our clients and really exciting for us as architects. It's a tool that we use just like AutoCAD or Revit in the latest incarnation of our drafting software. The concept of Tron is that one-way direction of us moving into the artificial world to see what that might look like has now been reversed, and the artificial world is now coming into our world and becoming real. So we've been doing that for years. We're able to construct something in 3 dimensions in the computer and then use a 3D printer to export that into a model form. And now we're able to create whole buildings in multitude of variations very quickly. At this point, AI is still pretty limited and it creates all kinds of hallucinations. We've generated floor plans where, unfortunately, the building has no doors or no windows. So AI still has a little ways to go before it can replace an architect. As far as the architecture of Tron itself, I have to say, that was a little bit on the underwhelming side if you actually pay attention to it. In particular, when Ares went to seek out Flynn, and he found him at what we might think of as potentially a shrine or memorial to Flynn, the inventor of this whole Tron world. The building itself was visually striking. It was a series of softened rectangular loops going around. But inside of it, there was nothing that suggested that there was any habitation in the space. When we draw in 3D, the tools that we have now, Revit in particular, Grasshopper, Rhino, all kinds of really cool computer modeling software, are able to create amazing forms. In Tron, if you look past the flash of the immediate forms, there isn't a whole lot there. And there was a conspicuous absence of any life given to the functionality of the buildings that were ostensibly created as the world inside of the computer. There are a lot of other movies where these are CGI created buildings, completely virtual, and yet every portion of the building is carefully thought about in terms of what does somebody do there? How do they open the door? Who's going to be moving through it? How big is this person? Do they have animals with them? So these are all the things that an architect does. We don't just make forms. We have tools that can make amazing forms, but the real test of good architecture and ultimately good construction, once we hand that to Sky Castle, to our building side, is to say, has every detail been thought through so that it is the best possible response to what our clients have asked for, to what the site has asked for, the budget, the world, the climate. In architecture, we have a maxim called form follows function. And one thing that we sometimes see with these incredible design tools is that form making is made for its own sake, to say, wow, that's amazing. And that's a cool exploration. But at the end of the day, we also have a responsibility to our clients and to the world to actually create buildings that are responsive to the function that they're asked to do. Hopefully we do it with an artistic flair so that we inspire people and make them have delight in the buildings that they are inhabiting. There's another philosophy in architecture that we adhere to here. It's from Winston Churchill. He said, first we create our buildings, and then our buildings create us. So when we see buildings like Tron that are visually stunning, but kind of soulless, and in many cases, not necessarily the most attractive environment that we would want to create for ourselves, we have to ask ourselves, with every project we create, what kind of world are we building, and how will it impact all of us? Thank you. I'll see you next time at the movies.